down just a little. Hi, and welcome to another edition of Ask Dr. Darwin. I'm Dr. Darwin Hayes, the new dentist coach, and today we have the pleasure of talking to a pre-dental student, future student dentist Brianna Daniels. That's right. She's shaking her head. She takes that affirmation. She's a second-year student at Clayton State University. Where's Clayton State, Brianna?
It's in Morrow, Georgia.
It's where? You said Memorial, Georgia?
No, Morrow, Georgia. It's like right outside of Atlanta.
Right outside of Atlanta. Okay, good. You may notice a little feedback, so we'll try to work through it as much as possible. So looks like Brianna got in contact with me through a friend of mine, one of my sorority sisters. I'm her fraternal brother, and one of my sorority sisters. Her best friend is Brianna's mom or aunt, I think, right?
Mom, yes.
Mom. Okay, cool. Through Miss Robin. So we got connected there, and Miss Robin knew a little bit about my goals and my purposes to try to help new dentists, and just so happened that that's how Brianna and I got connected. So Brianna, tell us a little bit about yourself, what your goal is, what you're trying to achieve, and then let's figure out, let's pinpoint some questions you have so we can figure out the best strategy and plan of action.
Okay, well, I am 19. I turned 20 this year. Originally from Baltimore, Maryland. I moved to Georgia about 3 years ago, and I started to go to Clayton State. I was going to go for dental hygiene, but when I started the core classes, I realized that I really wanted to be a dentist and then eventually an orthodontist. So I changed my major.
Wow, that's nice. Dentist and orthodontist. I love it. So what's your major now? What are you majoring in?
So it's currently integrative studies. It basically gave me enough time to do all the prerequisites for dental school, but also have like a concentration in like health, like psychology and some other classes. So it's kind of like a integrated major.
Yeah. And you said Clayton State is how far is it from Atlanta?
It's 10 minutes from the airport. So.
Oh, okay.
And so it's about like 20 minutes from downtown.
Okay, so you're 20 minutes from downtown Atlanta. Okay. All right. That's good to know. I'll tell you why in a little bit later. So okay. You're in your second year, just starting your second year. How's it going so far?
It's going pretty good. I have started my I originally, for dental hygiene, you had to take chemistry 1151, which is survey of chemistry, and then you also had to take anatomy. But now I'm taking like principles of biology and some math classes, so I can get into chemistry next semester.
Oh, chemistry. Yes, I remember. Yes. Okay. So good. So tell me a little bit about what I can help you with, or better yet, what's the goal that you're trying to? I know you're trying to get into dental school. I just need to know a little bit more about the time frame, and then also what challenges are you having as you are preparing for this process, if there are any.
Okay, well, even though I am a second year, I will not be graduating until 2020. And that's because I started the process a little bit late of starting the science classes for dental school because I was doing the ones for dental hygiene. So I'm a little bit behind on those. But I believe that even if I do like double classes, I can get them done in 3 years. So that's kind of one of the issues I'm facing. I want to be done by, I want to graduate spring of 2020. So hopefully I can go to school, dental school, fall of 2020.
Okay. So spring of 2020 is your target to finish and graduate, and then in the fall be enrolled into the class of 2024, basically. So it looks like you got some work to do. It looks like.
I do.
Got some work to do, especially if you're trying to finish up some of those core requirements. And then also keep in mind, you got to think about also that you are applying. You still have to apply to dental school and take the DAT and all those other things. So that's good. I'm glad that we're going to be talking and we'll work out some strategies. I think the first thing you've already done, which is pretty much that you've got a time frame, and you also have some prerequisites that you have to take. So you're already on that track. Is there a pre-dental or pre-medical track at Clayton State?
Not really. We have advisors that double as teachers who will help you make sure you're in the right classes, but there's no pre-dental course.
Okay, so there's no pre-dental course of action. Okay. Are any of those advisors, have you been talking to any of those advisors at all?
Yes, actually one of them used to be my, when I took 1152, that's like the faster paced version of organic chemistry. She actually doubles as the pre-dental and pre-medical track. So I talked to her, and she was the one that actually kind of convinced me that I would probably have to change my major in order to get all the prerequisites done in time. So I do kind of keep up with her every now and again.
What's her name?
Her name is Dr. Caroline Shepard.
Dr. Shepard. Is she a doctor by PhD, or is she a physician? Is she a dentist? PhD. Okay. Well, that's good. Well, I asked that question because Dr. Shepard is pretty much like your mentor for these next 3 years. So you're going to be building a relationship with her over these next couple of years, and in addition to some other people that I'm going to introduce you to. But she's going to be very key for you because she knows the ins and outs of Clayton State a lot better than some of the outside people that you'll be networking with. So if she recommends something, make sure that you follow through and get it done. In addition to that, one of the things that I want you to do, if you haven't started already, is you really need to look at all of the types of courses and prerequisites for dental school as it relates to the schools that you may be applying to. Mm-hmm. Most of the schools will have pretty much a standard prerequisite of classes: organic, biochem, maybe micro, and maybe some other, biology, and maybe some other classes, anatomy and physiology. But you want to make sure that the classes that you are taking are in direct alignment with what the prerequisites are for specific schools. You don't want to waste your time taking a zoology class, even though it's part of your major, but it's not necessarily a prerequisite for dental school, because your time frame is very, very tight, very, very tight. So one of the ways that you can do that is what I strongly recommend starting today. If you haven't already, you need to go on to ASDA's website. ASDA stands for the American Student Dental Association. Are you familiar with ASDA at all?
I am not, actually.
ASDA will be your friend starting tonight. That's your new BFF, ASDA, okay? I think it's asdanet.org. asdanet.org. If not, you can just Google ASDA, American Student Dental Association. This website and this resource is probably going to be your best right now for what you're trying to accomplish. They have information for pre-dental students, they have it for dental students, and they also have it for graduates that are applying to residency. So they have everything, soup to nuts, A to Z, a lot of information, a great resource for you as a pre-dental student. You can even join as a pre-dental student. I think they have a section for pre-dental societies / pre-dental students. And I'm just thinking of something. If there's not a pre-dental track at your school, then there's probably not a pre-dental society at your school either.
I think they used to have one, but I haven't seen anything recently, so I'll have to find out.
Okay. And part of you being very busy taking these core requirements for graduation and for dental school, one of the things that I think you should consider as it relates to your complete application that you're going to be putting together right now and that you're going to be presenting when you apply to dental school in 3 years is I think you should consider starting a pre-dental society at Clayton State. There may be some other people that you may know or may come across that want to be dentists. I say that because that's a great leadership and also a great thing to have as part of your application. It shows initiative, it shows leadership, and it shows further it shows your interest in the profession, especially at the pre-dental level. So that might be something to kind of think about and something that you can check off and actually really add to your candidacy when applying to dental school, especially if there's not one that has started already. And again, it shows, you're a go-getter, you're a leader, you're, wanting to form something that's going to not only help you, but helps other people also. Okay. Another thing that I would recommend that you do as it relates to ASDA and also to the pre-dental society is I would also consider starting an SNDA, a pre-dental SNDA chapter at your school also. SNDA stands for the Student National Dental Association. It's a subsidy of it's a student-run organization that's under the parent organization, which is called the National Dental Association, NDA. So most schools will have, just like most schools will have an ASDA chapter, most schools will also have a Student National Dental Association chapter, or SNDA chapter at their school. SNDA also works with pre-dental students throughout the country. And one of the ways that they do that is they have an undergraduate SNDA chapter at schools. So you may want to consider creating an undergraduate SNDA chapter at Clayton State, again, for the same reasons that I mentioned about the pre-dental society at the school. Not only for your candidacy, but also it'll be a great resource for you. Right now in the state of Georgia, there's just one dental school, and that's in Augusta. Augusta, yes. All right. And luckily for you, there is an SNDA very active, excuse me, a very active SNDA chapter at the, oh God, what is it called now? University of Georgia. It used to be called Medical College of Georgia. Now it's called University of Augusta, or Augusta University, or Dental School at Augusta. They've changed names over the years.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess that's the common information there in the state of Georgia now, how that university has changed its name so many times. But by creating an undergraduate SNDA chapter, you're going to start networking with current dental students that look like you, that were in your same position 1, 2, 3, even 4 years or maybe even 5 years ago and applying to dental school. Those are the people that you want to focus in on and network with, because they're going to give you all the information about applying to dental school, how to take the DAT, what your interview should be like, how do you come up with your list of schools, how do you go visit schools, everything that and every question that you have about applying to dental school, they've gone through either last year or within the last 4 or 5 years. So that's going to be very, very, very key for you. One of the things I would tell you to do is, I don't know if you're on Instagram or Facebook or any types of social media, but you need to Google the SNDA chapter and also just the dental school there in the state of Georgia, and look on their website for organizations and start to pick out some of those organizations that we talked about and start making some connections at the school there.
Okay.
All right. And I will, I have a contact at the dental college at Augusta, whatever it's called. I have a dental contact there that I'm going to put you in contact with, put you in communication with. Her name is Miss Stephanie Perry. Stephanie Perry is her name. Write her name down and I'll forward you her information. But that's a really, really good resource as a pre-dental student applying to dental schools. Even if Georgia, this school is not on your list, it's still a good person to give you an overview perspective of dental school for underrepresented minorities, but just dental school overall. Okay.
Okay.
And I know that's a little bit outside of, the day-to-day studying and taking classes and sciences and stuff. But again, you've got a crunched time period that you're working with. So you're going to have to start getting used to being uncomfortable with having a lot of things to do, or a lot of things to kind of check off in this 3-year period of time, especially if you're planning on graduating and applying to dental school around the same time. There's going to be a lot of kind of condensing and really staying organized and being disciplined. So this is one of those things that helps you get to your end goal, is making those contacts, start networking and with those people and those students, and that'll help with your application process too. So that's one thing I recommend as a strategy. The second thing I recommend is a little bit associated with contacting dental schools, which is the SNDA, the Student National Dental Association, throughout the country, nationally. They have a program that the chapters implement locally at their schools, and it's called Impressions Day. Impressions Day. This is the time where pre-dental students like yourself get an opportunity to have an inside view of what it means to be a dental student, what it means to go through that process, and just a broad overview of a life as a dental student, as a new dentist. When you get in contact with the SNDA at the dental college at Augusta, you'll find out if they have an Impressions Day. If they do, you must go. Must go. If you have to drive or you have to have somebody take you, I think Uber might be a little bit too far for that. That's a road trip there, but you definitely want to go to. You definitely want to go to the Impressions Day. That's one mistake a lot of pre-dental students make, is not networking enough, or not going to the right types of networking events. The Impressions Day is an awesome opportunity. Not only should you go to the one in Augusta, but if you can, go to other SNDA and other schools' Impressions Days also that are in your area. With you being in Georgia, the University of Florida, that's in Gainesville, might be a little bit too far. LSU, they just had one not too long ago. Alabama, University of Alabama at Birmingham, That's a great program. I got some contacts for you there. North of you is Tennessee, right? Tennessee? No. Kentucky. How far is Kentucky? University of Louisville is a program. I think there's a program there. I know there's an SNDA chapter there. Well, all of these are potential schools that you're going to be looking at, maybe adding to your list of schools to look at for dental school. But also you want to make those contacts there so that you can maybe go to their programs as well. The advantage of going to those programs, not only will you meet students, but you also may meet some faculty members, and they're going to give you, between the students and the faculty members, they're going to give you the inside track as to their interview process and their dental school candidate selection process.
Okay.
Right now, information is very, very key. Some of the stuff you'll be able to get, you'll have easy access to just via Google, but some of the stuff you're not going to really get until you have eye-to-eye, face-to-face contact, and you're actually in the building and in the location where students and faculty are. But the Impressions Day is a very, very good way to accomplish all of that and get that done. Okay. I would tell you there's no such thing as an too early of a time. I know you're in your second year, so right now is crucial. I would go, try to go to at least one before the end of the year if you can. Maybe two if you can do. Maybe one this semester, maybe one in the spring. But typically they have them. I think they have them more during the fall than they do in the spring. They may have other events that you can go to as a pre-dental student in the spring. I would encourage you to go to those also. Again, what you're trying to do is you're doing networking. You're networking to learn, but also you're networking so that you know how to strategically implement your plan of action and get your portfolio or get your application to the point where if you apply, you get in on the first time, or you get in. The end product is you get into dental school. All right. So that's why that second thing is very, very important. And there's two other things, tip-wise, I think would be very helpful for you based on where you are right now geographically.
Okay.
So the third thing is there is the ADA, which is the American Dental Association. Every year they have an annual meeting. And this year, guess where it is?
In Atlanta.
In Atlanta, yes. You are so lucky. You don't have to travel but 20 minutes because it's downtown. Downtown at the convention center. I think it's at the convention center right next to down the street from the new football stadium. So You've got some more homework. And that homework is you need to go on to the ADA website, ada.org, I think it is. Again, American Dental Association annual, it's called the annual session. Again, they have lots of resources at this meeting. I think as a pre-dental student, I think it's free. You'll probably meet some people that are like yourself that are applying to dental school. You'll meet some people that have a pre-dental society at their school or looking to start one. You also will meet some dental students that'll be there. You'll probably meet some dental students from the University of Augusta Dental College, whatever it's called, because it's pretty much in your backyard. But you also will get a flavor, get a taste for how that annual session goes for dentists. There's usually a big exposition hall where you can go and find out all the latest trends, the gadgets, technology in dentistry, which is your chosen profession. So it's good to be able to attend those meetings, especially when they're in your backyard, but also you'll learn And now, as you're learning and networking, you are also gathering content material for your application, for your CV, for your personal statement, all those things that are, a year or two or maybe 2 years out, but you're building that information right now by going to the meeting, right now by contacting SNDA chapters that are in your area or ASDA chapters, right now by going on to the ASDA website and learning more about the different resources that are there. So that meeting is in 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's October 18th, 19th, and 20th, I think it is. Yeah, something like that. But it's when you go on the website, ada.org, you'll see it there and you'll find out some information. Again, if you know somebody else that's pre-dental, maybe, at your school or interested in becoming a dentist, maybe you guys can carpool, go up to the meeting or get on the MARTA and just go to the convention center and convention, World Congress. I think it's at the World Congress Center. And just go. I would register. I think you have to have a badge and stuff. Register and just absorb and observe all that the session has to offer. So that would be the third thing that I would recommend to kind of get you started. In addition to that, the fourth thing or strategy that I would want you to start thinking about, especially because of your geographical location, there's another meeting or convention that's there every year in Atlanta. It's called the Hinman, Hinman, Hinman Dental Meeting. The Hinman Dental Meeting is probably
I actually saw something about this last.
You saw what?
I saw something about this last year, but I missed it.
You missed it. Well, this year you're not going to miss it because it's in March. It's in March of 2018. Usually the third week in March, every March, all the dentists in usually the Southwest region. So we're talking from North Carolina to Florida, and then as far west as maybe Texas. The Hinman is the biggest meeting in the Southwest, basically. I'm sorry, Southeast, Southwest of the country. It's probably one of the top 5 meetings in the U.S. for dentistry. Again, same thing like the annual session for ADA. Great resource, great networking resource. There will be students there from not only Augusta, but University of Florida, UAB, maybe Texas. I know I have residents that come down from New York to attend that meeting, especially if they're from Atlanta, they get some CE. But as a pre-dental student, that's 20 minutes away. That is a must attend meeting. Again, you want to network. You want to network with dentists. Also, you want to network with dental students or other pre-dental students also. So Hinman, again, I will Google, find out more information. This year you're going, make sure you register so that you don't miss it. But I think that's going to be very, that'll be very, very helpful in this process, this pre-dental applying and getting more familiar with the dental profession overall. I think that'll be very helpful for you. And then the last thing that I wanted to share with you, I think that's going to be helpful to kind of get you started where we are now and getting started with some strategies and some action things is the big one, the DAT. Are you familiar with the DAT at all?
I know I'd have to take it, and I'm nervous about it. That's about it.
Well, you should be nervous about it because it is one of the ways that dental schools determine your candidacy and how they look and select you based on that exam. So, and because you're not familiar with it, of course you're going to be nervous about it. But we've got 2.5, 3 years to get unnervous about it. And the way that you do that is you become more familiar about the exam. When you go on to ASDA, ASDAnet.org, they have a whole section on the website, upper right, upper left, something like that, that has a section about the DAT. And they have a whole track about learning about the DAT, how to prepare for it. And there are also some resources that they have for test taking and everything else. Right now, at this stage where you are, the best thing for you to do is to just find out, become more familiar about it. Become more familiar about the different sections and how the exam, the dental aptitude test, dental admissions test, how the test is sectioned and how it's organized. That's the thing that you need to kind of figure out right now, just so that you're a little bit more familiar with it and you understand what is going to be expected in about 2 years. I think typically people take it as early as their second year of college, depending on their prerequisites and what science classes that they have taken. But there's also a section that's not science related, but more or less three-dimensional, where you're actually looking at a two-dimensional object and you have to simulate in your mind the object moving and rotating in a third dimension, but on a piece of paper. And there's some questions and some analytical things that you have to be able to do in that section of the exam. So I say all that as it relates to being familiar with the DAT. There's also a preparation course or different types of seminars to get you prepared to take the DAT. There's many that are out there that are very helpful. One of the most popular ones, at least it was years ago, was given by Kaplan, Kaplan. Kaplan has a series of admissions test programs. They have one for the DAT. They have it for the LSAT, which is for the law school admissions test. They have it for the MCAT, which is the medical school admissions test, and they also have them for the GRE and a couple other professional school exams. But another one that's been very, very popular as of recently with you all as millennials is one called Crack the DAT. Crack the DAT. So I would also become familiar with that preparation exam. And there's another one. Oh man, I can't think of it right now. But if you were to go and Google DAT, you'll find there'll be different things that'll come up as far as how to prepare for the DAT. But I know Kaplan and Crack the DAT. There's another one, something Buster, DAT Buster or something like that. But that's another area that you want to start becoming familiar with and getting prepared for. Maybe not so much first year, but I mean your second year, but after this year and maybe going into your third year, you want to start thinking, all right, I need to start preparing for this exam, because I will tell you, a lot of schools for their admissions, one of the first things they look at and how they gauge whether or not you're a candidate for dental school is that score on the DAT. And many schools use it, and they have different variations. Some schools may say, they want everybody 20 and above. Some schools, some of the more competitive schools, it's 22. I think the top score for a DAT may be a 25 or something like that, 24 or 25. And that's both a combined, I think there's like 5 sections. So that's combined all 5 sections. And you also get a score per each section too. But just for the combined score and overall score, some schools, that's what they're looking at. And if your score, say you have a school like University of Florida that their overall score that they're looking for, the DAT, is a 22, and you're on the 18 or 19 edge side of it, instead of your application going over here, it may go over here, because they're using that as a as a screening, as a sifting through process to go through all these thousands and thousands and thousands of applicants that are applying to their school. So one important strategy is having a really, really strong DAT score so that your application pops out and you get noticed for having a high score, because that's probably going to help you get an interview. And you got to have an interview to get into dental school, at least unless they changed it last week. So that interview, that's how you get an interview, by your credentials, your application, your personal statement, your CV, all of that thing, all those things that you're going to submit as part of the representation as you as a great candidate for dental school. But that DAT is one of the ways that they really, really start to sift through all the applications, and you want them to sift it through, but also grab yours and invite you for an interview. That's the goal. We want you to have an interview in 2020 in preparation for the class of 2014. That's what we want. So I think all these five things that we've talked about today are going to keep you busy, but it's also going to keep you on target to your ultimate goal, which is to graduate in spring of 2020, apply to dental school, get an interview, and get in so that you can join the class of 2024.
That's definitely the goal.
Yes, it's definitely the goal, and we're going to work together along the way. I'm going to help you be accountable not only to your own mission but to yourself, so that we can set some targets and some targets and some timelines of getting things done. You're off to a great start by having Dr. Shepard kind of help you as an advisor, helping you kind of reorganize some classes and some prerequisites. The next part of it is now, all right, concentrating a little bit more into the dental side of it as it relates to what do I need as a pre-dental student to get into dental school. Let me check the schools. Let me make a list of schools that I may be interested in. If you don't know yet, nothing wrong with starting that process now. Let me think of ways that can enhance me as a candidate. We mentioned two things: the pre-dental society there at Clayton State, maybe creating one. Also maybe creating an undergraduate SNDA chapter at Clayton State, because you're going to be helping not only you, but people that are, maybe want to become dentists also. We talked about the Impressions Day and one that's probably going to be at Augusta, at the dental school at Augusta, but also the other ones that are in your area: University of Louisville, University of Alabama, Birmingham, UF, University of Florida, and maybe going to attend those. And then we mentioned two meetings that are in your backyard this year that you got to go to. One is in 2 weeks, the ADA meeting, doing some networking there, finding out more of the resources that they have for pre-dental students, and it's massive. I'm telling you, it's a lot of information, a lot of helpful information. And also the Hinman Dental meeting that you said that you've heard about. You missed it this year, but we're going to make sure that you don't miss it this year. That's in March of 2018. And then we talked about the DAT and getting some more information about the exam in preparation for you maybe taking a preparation course or a seminar on how to crack the DAT and how to get a 22 or a very high score so that you can stay competitive with everyone else, the thousands and thousands of people that are applying to dental school. So I think you're on track now.
Definitely. Thank you so much. This is so helpful.
Yeah, I bet. I know.
It helps me figure out what I need to work on. Like, I started, but this is definitely a step up from what I could have did by myself.
Oh yeah. No, there's no need. There's definitely no need for you to do it by yourself. There's thousands of people that have done this before. All you want to do is gather the information, network with the right people, and then the most important thing is do. You gotta do it. You gotta do the actions. You gotta do what's required. It's okay to have these ideas and have this information, but it means nothing if Brianna doesn't do it. you know?
Yeah.
And again, I think you're at an advantage right now because of where you are geographically. I have a lot of colleagues, a lot of friends from both undergrad and also from dental school, and people that I've connected with and networked with over the years that are in Atlanta that would love for you to come and join them in their office, or I think we need to get you a mentor close by also. I think that'll be very helpful for this process. You're now part of my new dentist development network. And in that network, we've got a lot of people that are dentists that are in your area or from Atlanta, and that also are orthodontists, right? Because that's the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
So we got some ortho contacts for you too in this network. So hopefully this has been helpful. And if you have any questions at any time, I'm just an email away. Shoot me an email like you did at newdentistcoach@gmail.com. And we'll set something up. I definitely want us to kind of meet again, maybe at the end of the semester in December, just to see how your fall semester went, and just kind of see where you are with some of the suggestions and some of the strategies that we talked about that are kind of unique for you in your situation. How's that sound? Can we agree to do that? Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
That would be great.
Are you coming to Baltimore anytime soon?
I haven't planned on it, but I do have my family that's still there, and I know they want to see me, so it'll happen eventually.
So with you being from Baltimore, and then also having family there, and then also you being in Georgia, in addition to the school at Augusta that I mentioned, I think you really should also strongly consider University of Maryland, their school there, the dental school there. For those various reasons, I have a little bit of a biased reason because that's where I went, but there's a lot of students, a lot of great resources there. They're actually having an Impressions Day in November.
Okay.
Mark your calendar, November 11th, which is a Saturday. They have probably about 100 pre-dental students like yourself that are applying and looking into dental schools. I think that would be a great Impressions Day for you to go to. I think you'll get a lot accomplished with networking, but you get a chance to see your family. Just something to keep on your radar. I actually will send you a flyer that they sent to me, and I'm going to be participating in the Impressions Day this year and helping them out, and hopefully getting a chance to meet more pre-dental students like yourself and help you guys kind of navigate this process, because it's a process, and the more information and the more help and the more advisement that you have, the easier it is to navigate. So mark your calendar, November 11th at the University of Maryland, the SNDA chapter there, who was awarded recently National Chapter of the Year, I think for a large chapter size. They got National Chapter of the Year last year and the year before. So they're doing some great and amazing things there, along with all the other chapters throughout the country. But the Impressions Day, that's going to be a great networking thing for you. So I'm so glad that we connected. We'll keep in touch. And thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing your time and allowing us to kind of work out some strategies. If you have other colleagues or people that you know that need some help or that have some problems or are looking for some solution or some answers, have them get in contact with me. Again, to have them just send me an email, newdentistcoach@gmail.com. Have them subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is called Dr. Darwin Speaks. A lot of the things that we're talking about and other topics, we have some videos and some information that's very, very helpful. At least that's what a lot of the new dentists have told me, that a lot of this stuff is very helpful for them. And just share it. Just share the opportunity to have like a virtual coach, so to speak, and have someone kind of help you through the process, because that's the only way you get through it. You got to have some help. So thanks so much. Continue continued success and good luck. And we'll talk. I'm going to send you via email some contact information of some people there in Georgia and also in Atlanta. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome so much. Talk to you soon. Good luck.
Thank you.
You're
Have a
welcome.
great day.
Okay. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.